Welcome to the United States of America podcast, friends. Welcome for this special episode. Um, so, I always think it's wonderful when we're able to meet, some really powerful Americans. And today I've got a really special guest who is going to talk with us about how we can lawfully secure release by standing in the law of peace. So I hope that everyone is ready to learn and glean whatever we can from my special guest. This is Annie. Welcome, Annie.
Hey, how are you today?
Great. Thank you so much for joining me.
You bet.
I know this is a little bit different, especially for all the living men and women. We're not generally media trained or
Not at all.
so I want you to relax
Okay.
because, like Anna says, we are not actors. So nothing we do is scripted. This is all just, the real hard truth. It's raw and it's real. And so, I want you to just be comfortable with that. And I welcome everyone who's tuning in this afternoon. Annie's got an incredible story. And it's not just a story, it's her living experience. And I think that it's something that all of us can really appreciate. And it's an important education that all of us need. Annie, they keep talking about, everyone wants Anna to explain how to build the pillars, how to build the assembly. But our government is we, the people.
Yes.
And what do you want to share with us? I think just on that topic, just on that note of, we the people, how do you feel about that?
Well, it's not that complicated. We're all just living men and women, and we're not actors, like you said, and we're not here to like do anything except for live. Truly live in honor and peace and love and compassion with one another. And it's super, super important. Like, if you truly want to build an assembly, get together, like meet, unify. You know what's the most terrifying thing in the world to tyranny? People getting together, loving one another, and having each other's backs. Like, seriously, you want to scare some people? Love each other. Like, stand up for each other, be there for each other, make those plans for, like, if something's going to happen. Anna was talking about, some serious things happening. And you know what? Let's get some community gardens going. Let's get together and make sure we've got water and we've got things planned for the next 4 months or so and take care of it. We can do that. We don't do it right here on these computers. We get together and we meet each other and we get it done. And that's how you do it. And that unifying, loving, compassionate way of being is exactly how we build our assemblies. That is the terrifying thing to everybody. Woo.
It's true. I mean, love is the divine solvent of everything.
It
And
really is.
anyone who is, I mean, most people don't really know that. We've been talking about that recently, Annie, that people have actually not experienced real love. And even the corporatocracy wants everyone to believe that, it is so hard to really know and really, you know, we don't even know if it's real. They want to make it this mystery. And it's insane because we are born as liquid love.
Truly. That is absolutely 100% true. Source creator, God, whatever you want to call um, what created everything and us, we are sparks of source creator. And we truly understand our status and standing. We are source, literally. Think about that. If we're source, that's it. Game over. Because it's everything. It's it's all one thing. And we're just aspects of that. And if that's the truth, then we don't want to focus on what we're seeing that's distracting us. We want to focus on what actually is, which is that love, and it creates everything. So Anna keeps saying, focus on what you want. Don't get distracted on what you see. It just hasn't shifted yet. And that's what happens, is that people get distracted on what they see and they think that's it, and they kind of get down. Don't do that. Hold on and love each other, because what's that feeling that you feel when you just get goosebumps all over, and it's so exciting. It's like, ooh, yeah, it's truth, man. Whenever we come together in two or three, there's source also. And that is the truth of what we're creating. And that's what makes everything happen.
Yeah, it's the cadre of all of those people that came before us that have our back. That is the goosebumps. It is our spiritual brothers and sisters who stand with us, and all of our, just all of the people that came before us. They are right here with us in, energetic form, right here and now. So I just really appreciate the truth that you've brought so far. And there's so many folks out there that are unable to realize, and by that I mean bring forward into what is real, to realize the truth and the facts of the law. And the law that we speak of, friends, it is hermetically sealed. It is sealed, and it has been occulted from us. It has been hidden from us. A lot of people don't like to talk about the hermetic seal, but it is important for everyone to comprehend it, because there is these laws that we speak of. They are principles of life. They are not to be debated. These laws are not they don't require man's enforcement, and we can't do anything to mess it up, or if we want to try to break out of it, we can't do it. But it honors the will of man. That was our gift from our creator.
Free will choice.
That's right. And that free will, that was our gift from our creator, is what man's law violates, or it, disrupts, or it is doing like it always does with everything in nature by interfering. It's that interference of man, the arrogance of man, that it creates all these problems. And so, um, I felt the reason I really wanted you to join me today, Annie, and I just appreciate the fact that you made the time for me, like at the last second, is because the most powerful thing that all of us can know right now is how to exercise our freedom when facing these actors, these imposters, these people that are creating this theatrical, all capital COURT system, which is not English. Like, I don't know what it means because I don't read gibberish. So maybe you can begin by introducing this, by giving us some context and establishing peace as a foundation. What do you think?
Yeah, I can do my best. That's all we can do. All right. So I made myself some notes because I tend to wander.
I know the feeling, and I'll wander right along with you.
Okay. We might get into some very interesting places.
Yeah.
Okay. So an ASN was, well, honestly, I think we're all being targeted. And
Okay, wait. I just want to say on that note, when everybody says to me, like, I don't think this is happening to everybody, Neethi, it's just happening to you because you're targeting yourself by, driving around with these private plates or whatever that you're doing. And let me just say this, no one wants to be on the list that they have. Well, guess what? Everybody's on the list.
Everett's on the
You
list.
are registered in their system.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get redacted off of the list, okay? And so let me just tell you what happens when you do what we're going to talk about. When you do the things that we're going to always be moving forward on here on this channel, it is redacting you out of the system, out of their system. You want to get off of the list? Let us show you how. So
Okay.
they sure are targeting us because we are the slaves that are breaking out.
Oh
We're
yeah.
the ones that are breaking out. So continue.
So based on the law of peace, based on the law of peace, we are federally protected persons. Okay. And so that's kind of the establishment of peace as our foundation. And we want to make sure that we stay in peace, that we stay respectful, and that we stay in that place of love and compassion. Because remember, we're all source creator. Even those who are playing the roles of evil, tyranny, or control or compliance, they're still part of the whole. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Of us, they're us. They are us, and we are
they are
them.
us. It really is. It's just me at my maybe my most naughty days.
I
I'm
mean,
really
they're just
cause the problem.
blind. So it's like they're just walking around blindfolded, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So so my take on that is that I acknowledge, and I acknowledge they're part of me, but I also choose to just intentionally give them non-attachment. So you always think about the seed that you water is the one that grows. So I'm not going to water that because that's it doesn't need watering. It just needs a little bit of compassion. And where we're going to come over here is where we want to self govern and gain self mastery. So if we're gaining self mastery and think about like the attitudes or the beatitudes, the beautiful attitudes of, of, and the attitudes of responsibility. So the 12 steps of mastery, sorry, I'll do my best. Those things are what we're seeking in our self governance. And the further along that we come to govern ourselves and to be in self governance, the more that we'll be in our status and standing. Okay. Because if we're angry or we're outraged or anything else, that's a way to hook in and distract us again. And we don't want to get distracted. We want to stay on target. So what happened is that we had an ASN and she was targeted and she was pulled over and they like a couple of days before this happened, they put like some motion on the record and we don't know what that was. So 2 days before and after 2 years of having nothing on the record, like it was crazy. So anyway, they pull her and they get her for I think driving on a suspended license, which she never got a notice of, and also resisting arrest. Okay, passive resisting arrest. And so they take her in, and we had been on the phone. We were talking, and then she's like, oh, "I got to get off the phone." And then I was like trying to call her back, and I was like, "Uh oh." Traffic stop, call me. I was like, uh-oh. And then I kept trying to call her. Anyway, they took her in and I'm pretty sure she did a lot of things that she didn't realize. So one of the things that, and I apologize for even saying it was a woman. Sorry. This ASN, they were traumatized and scared and all these other things, but trying to recall all the things that we've talked about, how to be in your status and standing, how to say how are you establishing jurisdiction, where's the body, things like that. And they just kept her. And finally I was able to reach her. She called me and we set up over the course of a few days. They kept her for 6 days. And I believe on Saturday she went in for the court, the pretrial hearing, and she didn't even remember that she'd done that. And so it
Mhm.
took a little while for us to kind of walk that back. But
It is
basically,
it is incredibly traumatizing.
it
What
is.
they are doing to people, to the living people, is despicably evil.
It is.
It is despicably evil. There is no reason that any one of us should ever, ever be treated that way for any reason whatsoever. Absolutely no reason. There is nothing that we have ever done that would, require any of that.
No, I would say their whole purpose is to gain compliance through coercion and fear tactics and psychological torture and
Mhm.
basically being domestic terrorists. And it's sad that they don't even recognize that that's the role that they're playing, because we're so indoctrinated through the evil that's going on in the world, and that's how they establish it and keep it in place. Not only the people committing tyranny, but those who are there uh, for compliance, shunning, telling you, oh, you should do it. Oh, you've think of all the things you didn't get away with. This is payback. This is karma. Stuff like that, which is ridiculous. That is not
Well,
how source
it's
works.
it's 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 the compartmentalization for the people who are doing the evil. It is very compartmentalized.
Wow.
And so what happens is that they're not doing all the bits and bots. They're doing one piece of it.
True.
And so it can only be that they do this piece and then another guy does that piece and then another guy does that piece, because if they all did all of it, then surely it would not allow them to sleep at night.
I don't know. I went through it too, freed myself as well. And I got to
I
tell
know,
you,
we want to hear all of that. So I'm going to keep you on your track a little bit.
okay,
So
let's
so
see.
what led to their arrest, they had to contract. And they contracted probably because they were terrified. And this is what I always say to everybody is if they took you to jail,
Hmm.
you 100% allowed it. You fully
And
contracted.
yep.
So can you maybe go into that just a little bit, because everyone gets upset with me when I say they didn't just take you, like you contracted.
Yeah. What I can say is shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop giving them anything. Uh, I would say I didn't do it either. So, there was a place there where I said, I'm not going to contract with you. Give me your business card. And I got yanked out of the car and beaten up. So that's sometimes what happens, whatever the contract was. We were told we could go. And then the other guy was like, oh no, I'm taking you. And I was like, I'm not even driving. But this mouth is what got me arrested and beat up. Yak, yak, yak. So, so, oh, honey, I can't hear you.
I was just going to say that, you have the right to remain silent. I yield.
Exactly. 100%. So, yeah, just don't answer questions, you know, be very respectful and um, do your best to give them what they want in whatever way. Just know that probably no matter what you do, if they really want you, they're kidnappers. So they're going to do what they're going to do. So basically, if we were to move on, let's see.
But
Um,
I mean, I think that getting the ticket is not the problem. Like a lot of folks are saying, well, if you have a driver's license, you're already contracted. And I mean, like, listen, um, I use a passport. I
yeah,
always get a ticket. I always go home. Like the goal is to go
take
home.
a ticket. Yeah,
I'm going to take a piece of paper all day long, because I'll take the piece of paper and cancel it and send it back within
wait
72
for a
hours real quick.
Yep.
And it's just never going to mean anything, okay? Because no contract, no consent. But in this situation, they were kidnapped.
Yeah.
And so do you want to go over jurisdictional awareness? Because
Yeah.
basically they were in peace.
They
They
were in,
contracted.
they did contract. And I think one of the biggest issues that we have is that we're just not educated enough. Like, like we,
How did they contract? Do you know? At
mm,
what point? What did they do? Because I know you have your own story.
um, I'm not 100% certain, but I would say probably just not knowing enough and speaking, trying to have a conversation
Do you
and
know what they said? Oh, they were trying to educate.
maybe, but that's not the time to do it.
No.
Those are not the right places. Those are not the right times. Take the ticket, go home, void it. That is the best thing to do. Stay out of their courts, stay out of their jails, stay out of their business. So jurisdictional awareness. Um, all right. So how do you know when the court is de facto? Basically,
They
they're all
they're all
they're all de facto.
they're all de facto.
They're all actually military tribunals and administrative tribunals, and they have nothing to do with common law courts or anything else. They're all in fraud. They all belong in that little tiny district of Columbia and have no business on our land and soil whatsoever. And it's, oh goodness, I guess anything that's in the all caps is going to be the UCC, and anything in proper case is the UCMJ, which is Unified Code for Military Justice. And everything in I keep saying this. It's like Rome actually did it. They took over the whole world, and the British territorial are their muscle. Like it happened. Wow, mind blower. And the thing is that even if every country is occupied, they still have rules and they are not following them, and they're in as much trouble for not following them, which is why we report crime. We're reporting their crime. We want all of that beautiful, juicy evidence so that we can turn around and turn them in. And we're letting them know. We're giving them an opportunity to cure and remedy every time we send them documentation and tell them, look, here's my evidence that I have exited your system. Here's my deed of reconveyance, my 1779s, the 928s. They're freaking
But
amazing.
before we tell them who we are, all we really need to know is who are they?
That's very true.
Who are you? So like you
Who
should
claims
say
jurisdiction?
exactly,
Yeah.
by what
By
authority
authority.
are you stopping me? By
Ex-
what authority are you disturbing me while I travel freely?
exactly. By what authority? Now, I've heard that one of the things that you can do is call the police. If a land pirate is chasing you down, you call the police. I'm fearing for my life. There's some crazy person with the lights trying to chase me down. I'm a living man. I'm a living woman, and get it on the record right there.
Mhm.
And get it recorded, because that's a way to get it recorded while you're out there, and just say, just want you to know, I don't know who you are. I'm going to need to see your ID. Can you give me like 3 forms of ID? And I believe that is the law. They are supposed to give you 3 forms of ID. They have to identify themselves. They're just taking it, presuming you're going to pull over and be obedient. Good little slaves. No, 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 no. No, thank you. Pass. So let's see. So first questions, if there's no verified delegation of authority or harm party, they have no authority, and none
Right.
of them do. They all have fraudulent oaths. They're all like not following the Constitution. These policies and regulations for their employees, for their corporation that they're trying to push on us, they have nothing to do with men and women. And that all caps name, that isn't you. Why would you ever say that's you? That is a misrepresentation, and they're trying to get you to be surety, to give that dead entity, that fictitious character, life. Why would you do that?
I
No,
know
thank
when
you.
they say, "Is that you?" I'm like, "No, this is me.
No,
I'm right here.
I
I'm
live
right
right
here.
here.
You
I don't.
have
still in here.
Congratulations. You have identified me in the wild. Look at you found me. Is this an emergency? You should be asking questions as king. As king, you ask questions. Just be asking questions because sovereigns just ask.
Yep.
What's the emergency? Am I free to go?
Yep.
What's the emergency? Am I free to go?
I
So
love that.
you were wanting to talk about the lawful tools and notices.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love that you're keeping me on track. Okay, so let's see. The documents that we used were the Law of Peace, AR 27-161-1, the notice. So on your fee schedule, right on there, it says notice of violation of the Law of Peace and by the Department of Military Justice. I think it's Department of DOJ. What's the DOJ? Department of Justice, and also the IRS and a couple others. And you notify them right there. It's $10 million. That's
$10
on there.
million.
That's $10 million, man.
Yeah.
No delegation of authority. So Doug and Christy have made up this beautiful form, and it talks about who are you? You don't know who you are. And that is right, exactly the truth for all of us. If we don't know who we are, they're going to nab you. You know, and you're going to have some issues and problems. So no delegation of authority, and we are reporting crime, so criminal information. We use the true bill and the fee schedule and the declaration of living status. So now this was something that I actually found elsewhere that's been used in court, where you declare yourself 3 times. And once the judge is in 3 different things, 3 different, he comes in as 3 different
jurisdictions.
Like, yeah, kind of.
I mean, it's costumes because he's doing maritime, admiralty, and air. But Anna and them made it even better. So instead of doing that, if you do your testimony in the form of an affidavit based on the 4 Americans only, it's actually more powerful to do that. So the Living Law Firm has come up with that, which is far more powerful now. And so I know for a long time we didn't have a lot of things. And so people were coming up with their own tools. But now the Living Law Firm has given us things that are a little bit more polished, just very much like a silver bullet type item that you can use.
This was mainly verbal.
Okay.
Because we had a phone. $10.
Okay. So you're talking about while you're in jail.
While we were in jail, the way that we did this is we took those documents and we read them right over their listening device. And we told them, you're being noticed right now. This is on the record because they're recording.
Because you were on the phone with her.
Yes.
And I got you.
They had some other rules and stuff. And I was like, we're not following their rules. We're not in their jurisdiction. Right. We're going to do exactly. We read the Bivens decision right on there and told them they were noticed.
Oh my God. That is fantastic. So you start the phone call with a Bivens.
Yeah.
And then
it took us a couple phone calls to figure that out.
No, this is wonderful. I mean, this is really, really good. So if someone's in prison,
yep.
You can be sitting outside and they can call you, while you're right there.
Yep.
And so the first thing that we should do, I'm making notes. So, but this is why I wanted to have you on here because friends, the big deal about Annie is this is her sharing a story that she helped someone else with. I thought you were going to tell us your story.
Oh, I would have been happy to.
She got her own self out of jail.
Yes, I did.
And so that's what I wanted to hear. But let's finish this and then we'll go back to that. So step 1, if you do get in there, read the Bivens when you get on the phone with them. Okay.
Yeah, read the Bivens because you are right on their.
Yeah, they're recording all the calls.
They're recording, and that's on their record. That is on their record.
This is their record. That record, y'all, is you operating in the Supreme Court, because we have superior, concurrent, general jurisdiction in all realms. And so when you're doing that, it is being transcripted, and that transcription is a court of record.
Yes.
And that is the Supreme Court.
Yep, we hold court right there on that phone.
Okay, so you
We
start with the Bivens decision.
we started with the Bivens decision a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
We started with explaining how to do you're a living woman, how to establish yourself as a living woman or a living man, and so we started with that, and I told her, write down everybody's names, like anybody who has denied you medication or denied you proper nutrition or lied to you or used deception or coercion. They're ordering you around, all of those things that happen while you're there. Write it all down and get their names. And so we have a lot of names, including then I went on the website and I looked up all of the county justices and the sheriff, and I got on the phone and I called and I asked for the kidnapping officer and got his name. He didn't want to give me his first name, but I got it. And then I asked him for a social security number and his address. And he's like, I can't hear you. You're breaking up. I was like, you can hear me just fine. You're just mad because I'm asking you questions you don't want to answer. And he hung up on me. But called him back a couple more times. And I just said, you have no jurisdiction. You have a living person, we'll say person, in there who's owed the law of peace, is not in your jurisdiction. They're in my jurisdiction. You need to give them back to me now. You are acting as a domestic terrorist. We are in peace. And that is a federally protected person. And you are doing the wrong thing right now. So you need to think about that. You do not have indemnity. You will be held liable. She is not your slave. She is not a U.S. citizen. You are breaking all kinds of rules. And it
is their usufructuary duty to not cause harm.
It is their usufructuary duty. All right. So communication and conduct. So let's see. Their own recording system, calls, jail records, clerk entries. So their machine carried the
but
notice.
Before that, you put them on the record.
Did.
And when you put it on the record, you first did it on the phone.
Yep.
And then did you deliver it any other way?
We never got a chance.
Okay.
We're going to.
Okay.
We're still going to. Just because they decided that, we don't want to play with you. Order. This is order, no complaint filed.
Okay, hold on. I'll pull it up. I have, you said you gave me a copy, so I'll pull that up while you're.
And I marked off the name and stuff, and hopefully enough of the number.
Right.
But this was the response after piles of other paper, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. They're like, get rid of her.
Yeah. I think this is it, right?
Yeah, that's it. So they vacated, and then
Does that make it bigger? Can you see it better? I don't know.
I can't see it very well, but maybe I can make it bigger.
I'm trying to see if I can make it bigger.
I just made mine bigger. So pursuant to whatever rule, complaint having been filed by the Cochise County attorney, it is ordered that the defendant's conditions of release are vacated and the preliminary hearing set for November 4th out of custody and November 14th is vacated. The Superior Court Early Disposition Court is vacated. Any bond posted is exonerated. Court-appointed counsel is relieved of any responsibility. The defendant shall be released from custody in this matter only. And then it went to the jail, the defendant, the kidnap, and they backdated it to 1/28/2025. This exonerates all of it. Done deal. And we still have our records of complaints. Excuse me while I reach over and grab those. We're not done.
Yeah.
Name. Those are my notes. We got the criminal information claim
Mhm.
and notice of no delegation of authority. Um, we've got correction of, oh, that's something else. Hold on. And then we've got like all naturalization and all of her
Mhm.
documents. So all of those will go in as well. And then all the documents that Anna had also recommended we put on there, those are going as well. And a very hefty true bill, I believe. What did it end
Right.
up being? Something like $302 billion or something. I don't know. No, maybe it was a million, 302 million. And then if you put it on spot for fiat, I think on Friday that day I looked up the price of silver and it was like $54. And so
Yeah.
times that 54 and it ends up being like 308 billion or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Million. No, 29 billion or something. I don't know. It's some ridiculous amount.
Yeah. Enough for them to resign and stop.
I certainly hope so because they need to go back from wherever they came from. So let's see. The result within days, the record showed no complaint filed. The ASM was released immediately after we hung up the phone. They got rid of her. They're like, pew, too much trouble. Communication and conduct. So I guess the most important thing is to model peaceful conduct. Make sure that we are absolutely letting them know that we are using everything that is peaceful under the law of peace to remedy the situation. We're not here to harass anybody or to do anything except stand in our status and standing, to
Mhm.
be peaceful, to love, and to be compassionate. And I think one of the most amazing things that might actually come of this is that the people will take a close look at themselves and go, what just happened there?
Mhm.
How'd they wait a minute? They said all this stuff and then all of a sudden they're just gone. We don't get our $1,500 ransom. We don't get we
Right.
don't get
Right.
citation. Like they voided it all. And they sent it to all of the people. And so what we kind of want to follow up on is to make sure that we've got a declaration from the assembly to all of the folks, letting them know we are declared in peace and leave us alone,
Mhm.
because we will turn you into the Hague and we will turn you into the international courts and you will go to your own military tribunal and administrative courts and be held accountable for your domestic terror
Treason.
and
For treason, and you will hang
treason.
until you're dead.
Well, I
I
certainly
mean, that's what
hope that they
that
turn to
is.
and are repurposed. I think that might not be a bad thing. But I got to say, Neethi, that I think playing these really hard roles of evil, that there's some part of me that has some compassion for those people yet, because what an amazing gift to those of us. Sorry, to those of us who actually figure it out, that they play such a terrible role in our lives. I
Mhm.
mean, how hard is it to be them, to collapse under the weight of people who can actually stand up in their status and standing and know that they are one with Source Creator, and to feel so inadequate, maybe, that they
Right.
collapse under that? I think that's really sad. Anyway, I'm
Well,
probably a little too compassionate, but I'm hoping that
I
their
mean,
own their own rules will get them.
nobody is no, it's like Anna even said in her most recent article yesterday. She said, "We weren't seeking the murder of
No,
anyone." But
never
if you are going to
harm.
um continue uh to pretend that you can't hear us, you know, um then this is treason.
Yeah.
And who do you think you are?
Why would people stand against Source Creator?
I
Why would
mean,
they
I
stand
just
against?
don't understand how they actually can do these things to young men and women for traveling. I mean, let's just get a freaking grip on the situation. Okay? There's nothing serious going on here. And you are literally destroying someone's life.
Well, I hate to say it, but our
So
people work.
I'm really not worried about the repercussion on the other side, because the level of evil that you are entertaining on a daily basis like it's nothing. So here in North Carolina, where our notices are going out to the sheriffs. And when they get out, and if they don't get it, because we're sending them in testimony in the form of an affidavit, they have to read it, okay?
Mhm.
And they have to rebut it. And when they read those, it is my prayer over all 100 of those notices that we're sending out to every of the 100 counties, that they will feel empowered to be able to take correct action instead of anything else, because the packages that we've put together for them are not as a threat as much as it is an invitation for relief for them,
Yes.
to relieve them.
Yeah. Help them to come home. Can I share
Mhm.
something?
Yeah.
So this was my response, and it's
For
Marianne,
yours or theirs?
uh, for just everybody, I guess. It's from Marianne
Oh,
Williamson,
huh?
uh, A Return to Love. Marianne Williamson, A
Okay.
Return to Love. Our deepest fear. Sorry, I'm gonna do this without crying. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that would be the one thing that I would hope would really empower people and help everybody to feel like they can do this. Like we can self-govern, we can have self-mastery, we can be one with source. So that is the most important thing. And Anna said that the most important thing we can do right now is educate and outreach, and that is true. So what can people do to prepare right now? Record your status correction and do the 928s and really read them, because those are so powerful. Just learning what your 928s mean is an education in and of itself, and it's amazing. Keep your copies on you. Know who's in your assembly and lawful contacts so you have people to call. Don't go places by yourself. Make sure that you have support. 2 or 3 people everywhere you go as witnesses. That will keep you safe. Um, what was the greatest lesson? Authority begins within. When you know who you are, the de facto system loses power. What is the law of peace in one sentence? It's the living covenant that protects civilians, according to that, and people, and demands honor. No one may wage war against the people. And we didn't win a fight, we ended one. Peace, truth, and recording freed our ASN. So you guys, when we come together and we unite, then we have all the power. And that is what we need to do. That is one of the things that our forefathers saw that that showed us the way to go. So with that, that's all I have to say about that. If we were to sum up my experience, Um,
I want you to share your experience because,
okay.
friends, what I thought is so powerful. I mean, the fact that you're able to help other people, that is huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And we need law counselors and we need them trained fast. And we know from, you know, the other conversations that we're having with all the other ASNs here right now is that, Annie, we have to identify the landscape that we're operating on with our assemblies. And we know that we are all infiltrated and all the assemblies were captured. And so, in order to be able to move forward, we must know who we're dealing with and how to categorize the people so that we can move forward. And we have to call them out. The only way to do it is to shine a light on the truth and the facts. And, they're not going to like it. They don't like it.
Oh,
And
no,
also, I mean, they don't like
yeah,
it, but,
really terrible things to say.
they don't like it. Like, why are you calling me what I am? Why are you calling me what I'm doing? Why are you calling me out? Well, because we're done with evil. That's why. We are done with evil. And all we're going to do at this point is move forward in love. We're going to move forward with solutions because we move in clarity and in knowing. We're not guessing.
Yeah.
We're not wondering. We don't need to be testing. And at this point, like Anna said last night, they're gone. I mean, the courts are basically going to be collapsing. But all of us need a solid education in all of this in any case, just because moving forward, we have to be able to know how to move as sovereign. People don't know what a sovereign actually is, besides the fact that we're just like geese and we want you to leave us alone. Like, that's about all anybody knows is leave me alone. I'm doing what I want to do. Right. But they don't actually know how to operate in the true law or comprehend the real law. And it's the reason why I want to have this conversation. So you were kidnapped.
Yes, I
That
was.
had to be terrifying.
Uh, it it made me really mad.
Well, all I know is you made a deal with a judge.
Oh, I
And I
did.
think everyone here needs to hear that story.
Okay.
If you can organize it in your mind, because I'm
Oh,
sure it's emotional for you.
not so much anymore. I think
Okay.
working through this, one of the reasons why I help people with the paperwork and doing those things is because it helps them learn. Number one, and number two, it's like going through trauma release. Every step they take, where they recognize what's going on more and they recognize who they are more, is a healing. And so to me, this is kind of like it's a healing program. We're learning law, we're learning who we are, we're learning to be connected and that we are source creator and that we are connected to source creator.
And
So
how
my
loved we are.
and how loved
And
we are.
how loved we are.
Yeah, truly, truly. So I don't remember. Should I just start it with the judge and not go into the dreams and all that other stuff that.
Well, I would really like first for you to share with us
Mhm.
where you contracted because look, I've had exchanges and we've had an experience with a kidnapping that I
Yeah,
don't want to really publicize too much here, but like um in
my
that sce- in that scenario um there was 100% a contract that was made. And it's every time that you have an exchange with these folks, it's an education.
yeah,
And it doesn't have to be a trauma every single time, but we do
nope.
need to pay attention and learn from what actually happened and be honest. So that's the part. That's the trickety trick. The trickety trick is you got to be honest about what it was that you did because
I
you
I didn't shut up.
100%. Yeah, you did 100% contract somewhere.
Yeah.
So you want to walk us through what your experience was, please?
Well, my husband and I were driving in my car, and I had like that tag thing in the back, and I'd probably been driving 2 years without actually having any kind of registration or anything else. So right there, that was an invitation for them to come chase me down. And my
Was it?
well, you know what
Was
I
it?
no,
If
not
they
really.
could,
It really
not
was.
really, not really. I yield.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So basically, in the driver, I was in the passenger seat, and when they came, I rolled my window down. Oh, right there, there's a contract. Then I showed him my credential card, and he took it, and I said, "Well, just scan the thing on the back, and it says leave me alone." And so he's like, "I don't have the ability to do that." I contracted again.
It's too many things. Okay, so I
Yeah,
just want to point this out for everybody.
like
Number
shut
one,
up.
yeah, number one, you do not need to open your window. If
Nope.
they come over and they say something, then you can open it literally this much.
Mhm.
You're not inviting them into your world, your life. You're not inviting them. So we're not hospitable, okay?
Nope.
We're not hospitable. And so it's like this much, okay?
Yep.
And so the only thing that you're supposed to say is, as king, you're asking questions.
Right.
What is the emergency,
What
officer?
is the emergency? I wish I would
What
have
is
known.
the emergency? Oh, there's no emergency? Are you sure? Like, what's the emergency? And I mean, at this point, I'll just tell you, Annie, like, I've been pulled over like 7 or 8 times. And because, it's like guys, you know how guys are, right?
Yeah.
Guys want to go poke the bear, they want to see the bear. I heard there was a bear. I want to go see it. Oh my God, that's one of those bears. I got to pull them over and see this bear, right? They just want to see because, guys, they just want to see.
Yeah.
So some of the guys that have pulled me over have literally just been like, that kid, ooh, dead bird. I just want, they just want to see what does it look like, right? So they
Yeah.
come and then I'm like, what is the emergency? And they're like, what? And I'm like, what's the emergency, officer? Because, I'm super theatrical. I'm really, really good in the theater. I'm really good. Like, what is the emergency? Are you okay? Do you need my help? You know? And they're like, what? And I'm like, what is the emergency, officer? What is the emergency? And then now I've had guys say things to me like, there is no emergency. This is a safety check. What? I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. I
Yeah.
don't even understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. What are you saying? Safety check. Because now they know I don't understand them.
Right.
And now you can say it if they want to be smart Alex and say whatever else they're going to say. Well, I
Hmm.
don't consent.
Yeah.
What? And then you can just shut up after that.
Yep.
I don't consent. Do you
Yeah.
have blah 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 blah? I don't know I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth, guy. You know?
Like,
And we do want the piece of paper if this dummy won't leave. Okay. Usually at that moment,
mhm.
they'll leave. I've had at least 3 out of the 7 just leave. They'll just
Excellent.
be like, okay, have a good day. Cause I'm giving them every freaking opportunity to go away.
Right.
Oh, brother, you don't want to leave? Okay. And they'll be like, well, I need to see blah, 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 whatever. And so I give them my passport. And I actually have a printout of, instead of an insurance, it's like self indemnification. I guess I need to do a demonstration of that and I'll post it on
Yeah.
my Telegram channel, guys, so you can see what it is. But it's just that I'm self indemnified. Okay. And
Okay.
so it looks to them like insurance because they don't know the difference between insurance and indemnification, or they don't know what they're just like, oh, okay, this must be it. Right. So you don't have to say a whole lot of words at that point. Right.
Mhm.
And then they always say, you really should get your car registered or get your vehicle registered. And I'm like, but I don't have one.
I love
And they're
that.
like, you really should get your vehicle registered, but I don't have one. I don't know what you're talking about. Again, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand.
You don't
And then
stand
I'm just like,
for
okay, but they're going to give you a piece of paper, maybe. And if they do, it's okay. You just take your red Sharpie. I have red Sharpies everywhere.
I love
And
it.
you can just cancel it because you're the postmaster. No contract, no consent, you know, non negotiable. And then you take your blue water jurisdiction and you put your byline on there with your copyright symbol. And then you take your land red. I don't have my thumb pad here, but you put your thumb seal over the top
Mm-hmm.
and put that bad boy right on in, an overnight express envelope. And I mean, it'll cost you the $33.40 that it costs right now for me to send to the clerk of court. And bye. I put 72-hour rule on there. And that's it.
So that's the first step. So if you're dumb and you open your mouth and you contract, I'll give you that piece because that's what I did. So I go into the court and first I got beat up. I got assaulted and battered. And then
How did they beat you up? They literally drug you out of your
there
car?
was this little guy and he was all buff and everything. And he jumped up and he smashed me in the head 3 times against the water tank. And it like cut my
What
face.
water tank?
Well, we were hauling water because I'm off grid. So we were hauling some water, and I just had my little Altima, and we were hauling some water for my daughter. And that was part of it. And they were saying, oh, they were telling Carl, oh, your license is suspended in Arizona. I'm like, that is bull. You can't just suspend a license in one place. It would be suspended everywhere. They're just lying. So anyway, we switched positions because the other cop said, the other sheriff said, we're not going to detain you. And so we're like, okay, we're out of here. And so we switch places and he runs over and he goes, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You can't do that. You can't switch places. I said, you said we weren't being detained and we're leaving. And he's like, I said, and you are being very aggressive. You need to relax and take a deep breath. So he walks away and then the other little guy comes over and he had an attitude and I rolled up my window. I said, no, I'm done. We're leaving. We've already been said we're not being detained. We're leaving. And so at that point, he's like yelling at me and he's like saying, I'm giving you a lawful order to get out of the car. And I'm like, that's not a thing. What are you talking about? And so I go, you know what? I don't want to contract with you. I don't give you my consent, but I will take your business card. And that was it. He opens the car door. He reaches in, he undoes my seatbelt, he rips me out, and then he starts hurting me. Like immediately starts hurting me. And I kept telling him, you're hurting me. You're hurting my hands. You need to calm down. You need to chill out. And then I kept saying, you need to stop hurting me. And he kept doing it more. He was being very sadistic. And then he jumped up and bounced, hit me in the head. And I looked at him, he puts me in handcuffs and I'm looking at him and I said, what is wrong with you? And then he says, you're under arrest for resisting arrest. And I'm like, what was the original reason that you pulled me out of my car and assaulted and battered me? Like, there has to be a reason prior to that. And he's like, you're under arrest. Do you understand this? I said, no, I definitely don't understand you. You're too short. Okay. So there is a reason why I got myself in trouble, you guys. So anyway, they dragged me to the car and whatever. And we end up going and he's like quoting all of this nonsense to me, these laws. I have the right to beat you up and to pull you in because of Pennsylvania, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. You have no jurisdiction and all this other stuff. And I guess I pretty much, even after he beat me up, I just maintained calm and peace and he looked like a fool. So that was kind of nice. So they take me down to the Prescott detention, whatever. And I just refused everything. I said, they said, is this you? And I said, no. You need to sign this. I said, no. You need to do this. No. And they read this, and I was like, no. Take off they did trick me out of my coat and my shoes, which really upsets me, in my hat, because I was already cold. And then they kept making all these offers. They just kept saying, hey, do you want these benefits? Do you want these services? And I was like, no, I don't want you to tell me about people getting raped in jail. I'm going to pass on that. You move along, no consent, move. And do you want this? And I was like, no, thank you. No, I'm not doing any of that. And so we sat there, and they kept saying stuff to me, and I just kept ignoring them. And eventually they walked me into this
So you
concrete
didn't get
room.
printed or anything like that?
Not till much later, because I refused. I was still in my own clothes. I refused to give them anything. I refused to contract with them. So once I was in there, I refused everything, except for they did trick me out of my coat and stuff like that. So they get me in this concrete room, and they give me this plastic thing, and I've got like I'm allergic to latex. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching any of this stuff. I can't drink the water. I can't do this. I can't do that. It was a terrible place to be. And then they started playing with the air, with the freezing. It's the middle of winter. It's like November 5th, I think it was, of last year. And they turned the AC way down until I'm shivering. My lips are turning blue, and I'm just shivering. And every time I would lay down to get comfortable, they would do that. And then they would turn the heat back up, every time I would sit up. So they were trained. And I later went on the website and found that who trains the sheriff's department is a guy from Langley. And so they acted like a bunch of spooks, like they were torturing me. And I was like, and they kept me up pretty much all night. And so I just did meditations, and, I was like kicking back and doing my Zen thing and doing the stuff. And they offered me this and they offered me that. And I just kept telling them, no, thank you. And then finally I was like, okay. They asked me to sign something. I said, sure, give me a thing. I'll sign it for you. And they gave me a little pencil and a little thing. And I wrote, all rights reserved, UCC 1-308. And that's all I'd put on everything from then on. I said, sure, I'll sign something for you. Here you go. And that was it. That's all they got. So anyway, the next morning they take me in to see the judge. And they're like, sit here. And I'm like, no. And they're like, and so I move the chair. And I sit it where I want to sit it. they're all like I refuse to follow any of their orders through and through. And I gave every single one of them an opportunity to act in a humane manner, asking questions or making small requests. Not one in that entire place was willing to do that. Not one of them. So I have no
You
qualms.
see what I'm talking about, the treason?
Yes.
Do you see what I'm talking about, the treason?
Oh, yeah, I sure do. So the next day, the judge comes in, and he's like, he reads me some rights or whatever. And he says, do you understand this? And I said, no, I do not understand. And he says, well, why don't you understand? And I said, because you're committing fraud. You are, a military tribunal. You have no jurisdiction over me. I am a living woman standing on the land and soil, and you owe me the law of peace, and you are committing treason. And then I said, I don't know what these guys were doing out here, but he beat me up. And he's like, you have the right to remain silent. He's trying to yell over me. And I'm telling him, he hurt me deliberately. When I told him I was being harmed, he ripped me out of the car. He beat me up. And then he said that he arrested me for resisting arrest. The only thing I resisted was him hurting me. And I told him over and over, stop hurting me. And you could hear it. My husband filmed part of it. And he's like,
and they have you on the record telling this story, which is why he was trying to scream over you. So there was that going on, right? This is all getting on the record, y'all. This is the Supreme Court.
Yep, every bit of it's on the record. So anyway, he's like, he was telling me, I said, what I want is I want you to release me right now. And I promise to make a special appearance just for you. And he said, you can't do that. And I said, what can't I do? He says, you can't sit here and talk to me and tell me what. I said, yes, I can. It's all contracts and negotiation. You bet I can. And he's like stunned, taken back a little bit. And I said, you release me right now, and I promise to make you. How do I know that you'll make a special appearance? I said, I'm not the liar here. I'm not the one. My word is my bond. You're the one who's lying and committing fraud and treason, not me. So anyway, he just like acts as though I hadn't said anything, and he goes, okay, so I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Got exactly what I asked for, and you're going to go to here. And he asked me for an email, and I gave him a name, and he said, where'd that come from? And I said, say anyway. I gave him the email, and I told him, you can call me Annie, but that name that you're using right there, that's not me, but you can call me Annie. And so he wrote it on there totally wrong and big all caps and everything. And they finally, I refused to bring my phone in and stuff. And so I had to wait for that piece of paper, and they tricked me to put myself back into the cell. I was so
How?
dumb because I was trying to follow the guy, and he just raced ahead of me, and he walked right back into the cell, and I followed him in instead of leaving. So I incarcerated myself for another 4 hours. I was so mad at myself. I was like, oh, dumb. And then
I
they
mean, we
also
have
got,
to learn, and we don't know these things,
we def-
but like we have to. That's why I wanted to share the story,
yeah,
because I really hope people are going to play these over and over and practice. Hopefully some of the other assemblies will use these things as, like reenactments. You can do like a practice reenactment to try to, we just need to practice, uh,
really do.
just practice these motions so that it becomes second nature for us, you know, because they do. I mean, like when they're going through, prison training or whatever, they have to pretend how they're going to manage all the prisoners. What are they going to do? How are they going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G? Because they have to follow the script.
Yeah.
They have to rehearse. They have to rehearse. So, we have to rehearse if we're going to go get involved with
That
them.
is true. One of the things that they offered was an attorney, and I said, "Oh hell no, I don't want. Hell
I'm
no,
not dead. I'm alive.
no,
They
no, I
only
don't
turn
want.
people over in their grave. We're not in the
I don't
grave.
want that." So that was the first piece. So it was like three different stages. So the first was
Mhm.
the domestic terrorist guys, and then there was the people inside the jail that are doing all this psychological torture and all this other nonsense, and then
Mm.
going to the court little tribunal, administrative tribunal, and then the next piece. And right before I left, I put on my shoes and stuff, and they were yelling at me. They were yelling orders at me like I was a freaking in boot camp, and they told me they wouldn't let me leave, and they fooled me into letting them do my biometrics. And I am so mad I did that. I sent them immediately in my DNA, Paramount DNA, and told them to
Yes.
remove all my stuff. And I leaned that entire county. Oh, all of them. I got all their oaths of office. Like, I still am
Did
not
they
done with
have them?
some of them, but they were all fraudulent. They all had the two
Mm.
jurisdictions on them. So then the next phase is the good guys. So they walk you
Mhm.
across the little way, and it's the oh, we're the public defender, and we're here to help you, and here's beautiful filtered water, and here's it smells good in here, and everybody's happy, and there's like, rainbows shooting out of our behinds, and oh my goodness, it was so great, and I was like, oh no, I'm having none of this either. I'm not buying any of these benefits either, and pass. They sit me down with a movie, and they're watching me again. And then they get on the phone, and I finally call my husband, and I took every opportunity I could to insult that guy who hit me. I got to tell you, I said some really beautiful things. I wanted to make sure he knew. I said, "Oh, baby, don't worry about that. I know. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Don't worry. He hits like a little girl." So I was pretty mean. But anyway, and then when they weren't looking, I just took off and left. And they tried to chase me out with a guy with a camera, and they were trying to get pictures of me to see who was going to come pick me up. And so someone else was coming, and I actually went off the property and across the street to hop in the car to leave and to go home. I would have walked, but I didn't know which way to go because I'd never been there before. So, but that was it. And it is very, very synchronized. Everything that they do is psychologically developed in order to get you to comply and in order to make you afraid and to cause you harm and trauma and dissonance and PTSD and all the rest of it. So you just never want to do it again. You know, it did not do that for me. What it did for me was it gave me some passion, and it gave me the absolute remembrance that when I went through the family court system with my ex-husband many years prior, like 30 years ago, 8 years of legal abuse. And the research that I did there showed me how corrupt that system was. And I realized I kept tracing it and tracing it and tracing it. It went all the way up. And I made a vow at that time that I would rip down the entire freaking thing if I had to, so that nobody would have to go through this again. 30 years later, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're
10-day countdown. We got a 10-day countdown.
Moly, I gotta hurry up.
I know. We have a 10-day countdown.
Dang. All right. So
10-day countdown.
we're
So
how to do the stuff that we need to do to come together to help people. So hopefully
yes,
we'll do that next.
I just wanted to put this up here. I answered it in the chat, but I wanted to say this out loud too. The reason that we always use the post office, friends, is because the post office is a court. And it was the first court. It's one of the oldest courts, and it is the court of record.
Yes.
And it is our court of record. And so you always invest in the post office. You invest in the Priority Express mail, always, because you are running your court.
Yep.
And the only way for you to be recognized as the full postmaster and acknowledged for operating your court is you send that ticket back to the clerk of court, addressed to him properly. You require an autograph, and you are not going to do it by courier. You're not going to do it by anything else, because we want it to go through the court.
So you're talking about the green registered receipt?
No, hang on. I'll show one to you.
Okay.
I got to actually unplug here for 1 second. So just, you can tell everybody your stories. Tell a story.
Tell a story. I don't know if I have any more stories to tell. I will tell you this: we definitely use the UPU, the Postal Service, for our court of record. When you do all of your papers, you make sure that you scan them all in, and you keep a copy, and you send, I believe, is it the originals? I'll have to check with Neethi. And you send it, you put it into a package, you seal it, and you send it to yourself, because that is your chain of custody and your evidence. So you definitely want to do that. And then you also want to send it to each one of the people who are on your, who are getting a true bill. And they're also getting the no sovereign delegation of authority. They may have cleaned that up a little bit. So which one are you saying here? Oh, Priority Mail Express. Okay. And it has a signature card, flat rate envelope. Excellent. Oh, okay. I haven't done that yet. Oh, brilliant. I usually throw these out in, like, there's 30 people on them. That is excellent. Okay. I can't hear you.
You couldn't hear me that whole time?
No.
Oh my God. I said, first of all, we use the Priority Express mail because this is what Anna uses.
Okay, good to know.
And the reason we use it is because it's guaranteed. And it is, it says guaranteed, tracked, and insured.
Okay.
So
guaranteed, a little bit better than just the one I was doing, my own envelope with the flat rate, and there were $4 or $5 each. And then if you want, you can have a signature, but it's also insured, tracked, but it's not guaranteed, I don't think.
Right. So the only reason that you either do the green card registered mail, which is not $5 or $6,
no, it's like
and
30.
This is not either. Yeah, this is $34. It's $33.40 right now. Okay.
Okay.
But the big deal about it is that it is a full chain of custody and it is in their hands through going through their court. Okay. So it's processed through their court.
Okay.
And they will get it within, before the 72 hours. Okay.
I like that. That
So
is.
that's the big deal with that. And you know how we use the registered mails tracking number? This is exactly the same kind of thing. But registered mail is like this. The thing about registered mail is it is hand delivered like money.
Right.
And it takes forever. And it is every man who puts his hands on it is tracked and traced all the way from one hand to the next.
Yep.
This is express. So, like I said, you can get it there within the 72-hour window. And like everything Anna's doing, when she's slamming them with notices, she needs it right there.
So I have a question on that.
Yeah.
When we throw those in, if I've got 5 or 6 people in the same building and I put each of the records in and I put them all in one envelope, when they open it, they see that there is a cover letter with each one of the names and who they go to, and then you've got the little packets inside. Can you do that?
So this particular envelope, the flat rate one, maybe. It depends. Is it just one page? And if you have just the right kind of envelope, and we don't fold. Yeah. What I'm saying is it can't hold like a bunch of packages,
Right.
like thick packages. It can't hold them.
No.
But
it can hold those 3 sheets of paper, and then everything else goes through the record anyway. So I figured they've all got it. So each of the true bills and the other ones is what I would send.
Who all are you sending it to? Because the clerk of court
blah, blah.
Clerk of court.
Clerk of court, and then the judges, whoever's had their hands on it. So the
clerk of court is supposed to make sure everybody gets a copy.
Exactly. So if it goes to the clerk of court, and then
you don't. It's not. Listen, it's not your job.
I don't even have to do that.
It's not your job to cover his irresponsible actions. You are noticing the clerk of court. Notice to principals is notice to agents. Notice to agents is notice to principals. They better make sure everybody knows who needs to know. And if he doesn't, that's not your problem. You have noticed him.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
listen, this is the thing that is wrong with the way that we living men and women think.
Right.
We care so much that, I mean,
I just want to keep somebody.
I heard Lisa, from Ohio, teaching an entire class on how to study the DMV system and how they do this, that, the other, and how we should do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G to get involved in their system. And the whole time I was like, oh my God, I'm the employer.
Yeah.
I don't need to know my employee's system. I mean, if I contract people to come and do anything for me, I don't need to know how they do the damn job. They just need to do it.
Right.
And I don't need to know their system. That's dumb. You know what I mean? They need to get with my program. I'm the employer.
Well, I was thinking that we needed to give each of the true bills to each one of the people for whatever it was that they did. Is that not true then?
Well, I haven't learned from Anna to do that.
Anna wasn't teaching this, Christy.
I know. I only follow Anna. Oh. And everything Anna does is swift, fast, and easy.
Well, I was going to say, it seems a little complicated, and common law should be very simple because we are common.
But we stand over UCC. I don't need to figure it out. I don't need to figure out UCC or UMBZBJC or whatever. All the what I don't need to know all that.
I just want to know what we're supposed to do.
We're supposed to follow Anna.
Courts of Well, that's what I thought.
We're supposed to follow Anna. So I always wait for Anna to tell me what to do.
Smart.
And
She is smart.
if I look up what Anna did, then sometimes people try to do what Anna does, but Anna is the fiduciary on behalf of all the living people. Sometimes Anna has to do a little bit extra because Anna is the fiduciary on behalf of all the living people.
Okay.
I don't have to ever do all that because I'm just little old me, just doing my little old something over here with my feet on the ground.
I like it.
So I don't have to follow everybody else. And I'm not going to follow everybody else. I'm only going to follow Anna because
He's needy. Neaty. Are you self-governing? Wow. Oh my gosh.
I know, right? So, I mean, but the whole idea is that we're not here judging everybody else. We're just saying, hey, they did this. It didn't make sense to me because of this. This is what I happen to know. This is what made sense to me. This is why. I mean, take it or leave it. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. But what I know is I'm not going to hire somebody to do something
Right.
and then figure out how they're going to do the job and micromanage them to damn death because I am busy.
Got enough going on. Yeah.
So if I have asked you to do something and you're going to be doing it, then I expect you to do it. And I have faith and confidence that you can do it.
You can do your job. I
Right.
like
And if you can't, then I will deal with that later. But, it's not my job to figure out how you're going to communicate to all your people the fact that I am who I am. And you better know who I am. And if you don't know who I am, you better get with the program.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And as far as I saw, people are like, I'm not gonna follow Anna. Well, don't. Also, then I don't even know why you're here. Because the only thing we're talking about is that look, Annie.
Hmm.
Moses tried to lead people out of Babylon into freedom. And Jesus did too. Gandhi did. Martin Luther King did. JFK, Malcolm X, everybody tried to free the people. I think Anna's going to actually get it done if all of us can get organized and just love each other
Great.
enough to, follow the two rules. There was only two.
Love yourself and love each other.
And then Anna said, okay, look, I know y'all can't even, I mean, Jesus only gave you the two after Moses gave you 10 or whoever, right? Okay. So let's just be one love. How's that? How about just the one? How
Yeah.
about the law of one?
Law of one. Yeah.
Can
I
we
like
do that? That I am you and you are me. We
You
are
know what's
you.
so magical about the law of love or the law of one? All you have to do is love yourself and heal yourself, and it heals everything else and everyone else because we are one. We are source creator. You're a reflection of me. I'm a reflection of you, the earth. All of it is one. So we work on just us. Then, when we work on loving ourselves, the whole world is.
We just only attract it because it's the
Yeah.
mirror reflection
Yes.
of us.
How is this so dangerous for me to say? I cannot tell you how much grief I've gotten for speaking like this. Terrible, terrible things have been said. I'm like, wow,
Look,
why is that so threatening?
Hey, this is Juan. I just want you to know something, Juan. This is what I'm saying. I am getting attacked constantly because I refuse to listen to anybody else. I'm only going to listen to Anna. I refuse to listen to anybody else. I'm only going to listen to Anna. I refuse. to listen to anybody else. I'm only going to listen to Anna.
Anna is inspired. Like, I've been
She,
studying this stuff for a really long time, and I got to tell you, she is right on track. She is right on track. She is inspired. Her structure is inspired. She's brilliant, and she's got to have like an amazing team. Holy smoly! Like,
thousands and thousands of people, thousands. I mean, she tells you all the time, it's not just her. It is a cadre of people. But
that
it
makes
is the organization of her compilation.
that makes sense.
It is an entire cadre of people.
Well, I
But
hope I
when
can
it,
be of service and
huh?
help. I hope I can be of service and help
Oh
because
my
that's
God. I thought that what you just shared was so powerful. And like we've been going on now for an hour and a half.
oh my
So
goodness, we're
yeah. So we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. We were trying to make it just a quick hour of learning. But I hope that everyone learned something
yeah.
from this. I just wanted everyone to meet Annie because she had the courage and the audacity to stand up to these people and say, no, 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 no. And she let her no be her no and her yes be her. She was only in trouble because she tried to teach him first.
Yeah, my mistake.
We're not going to do that again.
No, let's
I
stick with
always tell everybody, I'm like,
I
you're
don't
not
want to hear
supposed to
this.
be, you can't teach them on the side of the road because they speak legalese. They don't speak English. You don't speak the same language. There is nothing to say
That's true.
except for what is the emergency? I don't understand.
Love that.
I don't understand. I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth. I'm never going to understand, and I don't understand. And no, I don't consent. I don't consent. And whatever they're doing to you, you're just screaming, I don't consent. Because
Agreed.
if anybody hears you screaming, I don't consent on a recording, they're going to be hung for treason. So, what you should do is on a little business card or a little card, write, what is the emergency? And then you would say, I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth. And then you might write, no consent. I don't consent. I do not consent. I do not consent, and I reserve the right to be silent. I reserve the right to be silent. And then you can just take that card with you. And if you have your 928 package in the car, which I recommend that you do, then you just carry it all. And this is look, we don't answer questions because we are kings.
I
We don't answer questions.
Thank you, Juan.
That's a good one. We only ask the questions. We are, as king, asking the questions. We only ask questions. We don't answer questions. We ask them.
Yep.
As kings.
And if somebody is so obtuse that they cannot hear the words coming out of your mouth, take the ticket and return for sender and go home and watch a nice movie and have some strawberries and chocolate with your sweetheart. I mean, seriously.
Seriously. That should be the only trauma that you should deal with.
Going to detention center and being frozen to death.
Yeah. Annie's like, don't go play.
Don't go
play with the CIA. Don't do it. Don't
do it.
Just say no.
You'll learn a lot. I mean, seriously, if you need an experiential experience, like, okay. But honestly, don't do it. It's not worth it.
No.
And luckily you can walk it back. There's no mistakes that we can't walk back from. It's just, you really have to stay in that energy of love and peace. You really, really have to just own that. Because if you don't, they'll mess with your head. You don't need that. You just
Yes.
look at them like, I mean, but when you see it from that perspective and you look at them, you go, oh my gosh, they're terrible actors. Wow, I give this, like, what are those Rotten Tomatoes? Like just a couple of like the real, oh no, stinkweeds. There we go. We'll give them some stinkweeds for their acting. But one of the things
Yeah.
I always ask for from Source is please help me understand in a way I cannot misunderstand so that I can move forward and be in service. And that is what happened for me. I really saw it in a way I could not misunderstand what was going on. It was very blatant and very educational. And it took me quite some time to like kind of recover myself. You know, at first I was very upset and angry and outraged. And those are just ways of getting hooked back into the distraction and the noise. And that's not where you want to be. You want to work on that self mastery and come into that place of love and peace and stay there and surround yourself with good people like that, because those are the ones who are going to be your cheerleaders and love you, and that you'll actually be able to work with. They're going to have your back. You know, if something goes wrong, you make a phone call, they're there. They're your ride or dies, right? So that's what we want. We really want that. That's all I
That
got.
it that is true. That is true. I was just looking through the comments while you were sharing all of that, and I found a whole bunch of stuff here. Um,
There's people watching this.
I know, and they're
Oh no,
saying things.
I apologize.
So, I actually have a link to the coordinator meeting on my Telegram channel. And so, my Telegram channel is linked in the show notes of this show and every show that I do. So go to the Telegram channel and find everything over there. Deborah, I don't know why you think the post office won't let you in. I don't really comprehend what you mean. Like, you mean to send this off? They won't let you in? I don't really understand what you're saying because, I mean, they get paid. This is a sale. This is like a service for them. So I don't know what you mean. I can always take them some of this and they take my money and everything. It's like really cool. Um, and so, one, I will definitely talk about doing a whole
Goodness.
class on the postal court. I mean, we can do that every day actually because there's so much to study about postal court, and I'm still learning a lot of that by myself. Um, I don't understand this one either. Like, I'm not gonna go into the federal buildings. We don't have a reason necessarily to go there, but what do you mean? I don't know what the question is exactly, except I don't go to the courts. So I'm not gonna go. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So I'm busy.
It's better to stay out of their courts and do everything through our court system, which is the postal service.
The
And
postal court,
fill
the
this
court of
out.
record.
You can fill that stuff out and drop it in the little blue box. You don't have to go in.
Well, actually, not this one. You
Oh,
have to take this, and they have to receive it, and
okay.
then they have to give you a piece of it, and all the stuff. They
Have
have to
somebody else
process it.
walk it in. Have somebody else walk it in then. I mean, if there's a problem
Yeah,
with you going into the
there's
court,
no problem with this. I
you
mean,
should have bread.
nobody's gonna have any problem with this. So I don't know. I don't know
Well,
about
my this right here gets me into a lot of trouble. So maybe
zip it up,
maybe this got her into trouble
zip
too.
it up. I know. I don't know.
Yes, that
Yeah.
double-edged blade of my tongue might have gotten me in a
Hmm.
little bit of trouble. I'm
Right.
so much better though than I used to be. You know what? If you tell me I'm messing up, I am good at course correction.
I mean, I think that one day in the slammer, or how many days were you there?
18 hours, that was enough. But
Yeah.
it was 2 days because it was overnight and then the next day, and I
Mm,
didn't get to go home. So they got 2 days of billing for everything.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. They don't really want to do all of that.
They really
Don't.
don't want to play with me at all. They
No.
if I
As
put
soon
some
as they figure out who you are and what you're doing,
yeah, they're pretty much no.
they're terrified. But you did actually go into the court. You made the special appearance. You didn't tell anybody about that.
The special appearance. We attempted. We actually attempted to go to the court, and nobody could find the record.
Oh, really?
Why? Because it disappeared. Because they
Tragic.
disappeared it. It was gone. No record of it. My papers were it. My husband actually went in to pay the ticket, and the judge told him, "Oh, you got to go to the DMV." They kept sending us other places. "Oh, you got to go to the DMV." It goes to the DMV, and it's like nothing's there. So he went back to the judge, and the judge is like, "Oh, well, there's no record. You can just go. There's nothing."
Bye. Bye.
They're like, "They came in again."
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
think we should all
really
carry a
appreciate
little, I think
about
I
it.
think we should carry a red bottle or purple bottle of glitter for our sovereignness.
Oh, I love that.
And then if they were to bother us, like, oh, grab your purple glitter out of the car before they try to take you so that you can leave a glitter trail wherever you go.
Little glitter bombs.
Well, because they're dead, right? They can't really see us.
Oh my gosh.
They can't actually talk to us. And so at least they can say, "Oh, what's that purple glitter?"
Put it in your thing. Put it in your little. They take it out.
Everywhere you put it. Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Um anyone who didn't watch the coordinator call with Anna last night, go to my Telegram channel. It's there. And you should know that the last 11 years were definitely not for naught. They're definite, like nothing we're doing is not for naught. And love already won because
Totally.
love always wins. And evil is dying and it is desperate. And that's what's going on right now. The chaos that you are witnessing is evil. Circle in the drain.
It
Circle
is.
in the drain. So check that out. Work on your 10-day plan. We got 10 days till D-Day. Get yourself ready and positioned to be able to help people come home as fast as possible. Just get ready. Anything else you want to say, Anna? Anna.
Annie.
Annie.
Actually, I did have some other questions, but it has to do with posting on bucolic law, and I figure that will be a whole nother conversation. So, is it just something you can answer for me?
Yeah. Well, first of all, a lot of the things that you guys have, I bet you would want to put on the notice board.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we can
Notice
talk
the board,
about that, and maybe we can figure all of
and we
those
need a
parts and
place to
pieces.
record living men and women.
Oh,
Download
yeah.
document at least the 1779 and the two witnesses to get people. I've got people backing up, and we need a place to record them.
Oh, no,
And
no, no. They can go there now. Okay, so
I
bucolic
told
living
them
law.
sometimes they need some hand holding.
Yeah, bucolic living law is available for people to record. It is free, and it
Mhm.
is only for the living men and women. It is only for Anna's paperwork, and it's not for people who aren't doing Anna's paperwork. Don't put your I'm going to put the link here in the chat. But if you create an account and you do not upload a 528 or a 928 package, then your account will disappear.
Right. And
And
5-2 are the 1779 and two witnesses, correct?
correct. You have to have the 1779 and two witnesses minimally to activate the account for it not to be deleted. Also, if you don't type in your whole name, also use upper and lowercase. Also, if you don't know how to use proper English, like if you use all caps, or if you use parse syntax, or if you say a bunch of words like I don't have a middle name, like we don't need you to say all of that. Just put your given name, whatever your names are, and do it all the way.
Mhm.
And you don't need to do anything extra. But if you aren't using proper English, because we only operate in proper English, then it'll probably get your account locked up or deleted or something. Because we have a bunch of people playing games on there and they're uploading like, machine language contracts and all this other nonsense. So if someone does that, it's just going to get deleted because we don't have the energy or the time. We're
Very
the
interested to know how mine are because I learned everything on Arizona, which had the captured assembly, and I
oh,
don't know if what I was learning was correct as a
okay.
recording
Well,
teacher.
we're reviewing everything and making sure it's lawfully done.
Yeah.
And as a side effect, we're getting a massive education from Anna because we're learning that there are different ways to do some of the things,
Okay.
or there was an old style and a new style, and we're learning a lot about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable and why and all the things. So
Fantastic.
anyway, all
Thank you.
right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate your courage in doing that. And thank you everybody who tuned in on this Friday and brought us your questions and things. And I hope that this was helpful. And we will see you guys on Tuesday at the next um, exit stage left.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.